PMI Bohol Boxing Promotions proudly bring you Bol-anon 23, the official weigh-in. This professional boxing event is under the regulation and supervision of the Games and Amusements Board, with CAB Chair at the helm, Attorney Francisco J. Rivera, CAB Commissioners, Attorney Manuel Plaza, Mr. Angel Bautista. We also have with us in attendance, CAB Chief of Boxing and Other Contact Sports, Mr. Rudil Manao, who is also our IPF Supervisor for the co-main event of Bol-anon 23. We also have our CAB Suganob OIC in attendance, supervising the supporting bouts of Bol-anon 23, Mr. Jimmy Donton, assisted by CAB Cebu team and CAB Central Office Manila. We'd also like to recognize our official ring physicians. We have Dr. Vladimir Girardo and Dr. Arnold Capolana taking care of the safety and well-being of our boxers. Ladies and gentlemen, our promoter for this professional boxing event, the driving force of PMI Bohol Boxing Promotions, Attorney Floricel A. Chavez Bono. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the official weigh-in of Bol-anon 23. We have explosive bouts happening tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. But first, our fighters would have to make it official on the scale. So let's get it on. Starting off with a curtain raiser of tomorrow's professional boxing event. 4 rounds of professional boxing in a 112-pound limit. First to tip the scale from Valencia, Bohol. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for John Paul Oyon.
Trainer.
Let's request the trainer and of course the opponent from PMI Bohol Boxing Stable to please witness the official weigh-in. Once again, this is the curtain raiser for Bol-anon 23. 4 rounds of professional boxing in a 112-pound limit. First to tip the scale from Valencia, Bohol, John Paul Oyo, and his official weight.
$110.
110 pounds for John Paul Oyo, ladies and gentlemen. And his opponent, making his professional boxing debut from Malibon, Bohol. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Jake here, Altida. Tipping the scale in Jake here, Altida, ladies and gentlemen. In his official weight,
112.12. 112.12.
112.12 pounds for Jake here, Altida. This is our curtain raiser for tomorrow's Bol-anon 23. 4 rounds of professional boxing in the 112-pound limit. They will now have their face off for the camera. Fighting pose.
Boss, pwede sa harap. Dito na lang sa harap ng ano.
Alright, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our first supporting bout for tomorrow's Bol-anon 23. Alright. How about, we'd like to request Attorney Floricel Chavez Bono, our promoter. Please have a photo with Jake here, Altida, and John Paul Oyo. Once again, this is for our curtain raiser for Bol-anon 23, 4 rounds of professional boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, Bol-anon 23 happening tomorrow, November 22 at PMI College's Bohol Main Campus Gymnasium. Thank you so much. Boxing Gym, Mandaue City. This is only his second pro boxing bout. Francis Arante. Francis Arante, ladies and gentlemen, this is 4 rounds of professional boxing. We'd like to request the coach and the opposing team to please witness the official weigh-in for this 4 rounds of professional boxing in the 126-pound limit. Francis Arante, ladies and gentlemen, from NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City, Cebu. And this is only his second pro boxing bout. He will now tip the scale. Now tipping the scale is Francis Arante, NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City. And his official weight.
Steady lang. Relax ka lang. Sige. Relax lang. Hindi mo kayo disturb. 127.2.
127.2 pounds for Francis Arante of NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out the PMI Bohol Boxing Stable from Cagayan de Oro City, former member of the Philippine Amateur Boxing Team. Let's give it up for the Jericho, the Silent Flash, Akailar. Jericho Akailar making only his second professional boxing bout.
$125.9.
125.9 pounds for Jericho, the Silent Flash, Akailar of PMI Bohol Boxing Stable.
Trainers, usap kayo.
Picture muna. Ay.
Francis Arante will tip the scale again.
126.8.
126.8 pounds for Francis Arante.
Short na.
Like I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, before these fighters will sliding out tomorrow in Bol-anon 23, they have to make it official on the scales.
Fighting pose.
This is another exciting matchup, 4 rounds of professional boxing in the 126-pound limit. Francis Arante of Mandaue City versus Jericho Akailar, the Silent Flash of Cagayan de Oro City, fighting out the PMI Bohol Boxing Stable. All right, let's give it up once again for our 2 boxers, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, for our 3rd supporting bout of Bol-anon 23, 10 rounds of professional boxing in the 118-pound limit. First to tip the scale from Talisay City, Cebu. Let's give it up for Yiroj Scientific Kura. Once again, this is another exciting battle tomorrow for Bol-anon 23. Ladies and gentlemen, Yeroj, the scientific guru from Talisay City, Cebu, now tipping the scale. And his official weight,
118.6.
118.6 pounds for Yeroj, scientific guru of Talisay City. And his opponent will be fighting out of the red corner tomorrow, the former WBO Asia Pacific Youth Bantamweight Champion, the former WBO Oriental Bantamweight Champion from PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, Sherwin the Gladiator Asilo. Tipping the scale with an official weight of
118.3.
118.3 pounds for Sherwin the Gladiator Asilo. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to request both fighters to have their face up here on the platform. Ayaw na po, ari sa platform. Ari na sa platform, para makita daw. Ay. Fighting
Sa gitna
both.
kayo, sa gitna.
Face each other. This is 10 rounds of professional boxing, ladies and gentlemen, for tomorrow's Bol-anon 23. I'd like to request Attorney Flores and the Chavez Photo. Please join our boxers. This is another exciting matchup for tomorrow's Bol-anon 23. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of professional boxing in the 132-pound limit. First to tip the scale from General Santos City. Let's give it up for Alvin, the Cowboy Vergara. Alvin, the Cowboy Vergara, ladies and gentlemen, from General Santos City. He's got a record of 8 wins, 4 defeats, 1 bout even. 8 rounds of professional boxing in the 132-pound limit for the super featherweight division. Alvin Vergara now tipping the scale and his official weight.
Hundred 130.8.
130.8 pounds for Alvin Vergara. And his opponent fighting out of PMI Bohol Boxing Stable. He is the former WBC Asia Silver Super Featherweight Champion, the former WBO Oriental Super Featherweight Champion. From Tagbilaran City, Bohol, Vergel Valiente Vitor. Vergel Valiente Vitor tipping the scale with an official weight.
131.
131. Exactly 131 pounds for Vergel Valiente Vitor. Another exciting matchup for Bol-anon 23. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 132-pound limit, our boxers will now have their face-off for the camera on the platform. Once again, Bol-anon 23 happening tomorrow at PMI College's Bohol Main Campus Gymnasium, 3 p.m. onwards. Score your tickets. Limited tickets are still available, 500 pesos, ringside, 200 pesos, general admission. Ladies and gentlemen, they may be smiling, but they hate each other. Watch out for 8 rounds of professional boxing and a 132-pound limit. I'd like to request Attorney Flores L. Chavez Bono, or promoter. Alvin the Cowboy Vergara against Vergel Valiente before. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we said earlier, Bol-anon 23 at stake, 2 championship bout, and right now for the RP Youth or Philippine Youth Minimum Weight Championship, we'd like to request our GAB supervisor, GAB Chief of Boxing and Other Contact Sports, Mr. Regie Suganob. First to tip the scale, ladies and gentlemen, from NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City. Let's give it up for Sherwin Dapulio. Once again, this is for the vacant IPF. Actually, this is for the RP Youth Minimum Weight Championship. The Games and Amusement Sport Philippine Youth Minimum Weight Championship. From NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City, tipping the scale, Sherwin Dapulio. And his official weight.
105. Oh, wait. 105.7.
105.7 pounds. Sherwin Dapulio has got a record of 4 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw, with 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout.
105.8.
105.8 pounds for Sherwin Dapulio.
Kasi pag nagkano yung dati, ulit ka lang
Okay, one more time.
kasi pag nagano na
Sherwin Dapulio tipping the scale from NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City.
48 talaga eh. It's 48. It's 105.8.
105.8.
105.8 pounds.
It's over kasi RP yun. Yung weight eh. 0.8. Pwede. Championship na. Tsaka
His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, the former amateur boxing standout from Gindulman, Bohol, Freshler Otrera.
Freshler Otrera.
Official weight,
104.2.
104.2 pounds for Freshler Otrera. Once again, this is for the Games and Amusement Board Philippine Youth Minimum Weight Championship. Sherwin Dapulio of NPF Boxing Gym, Mandaue City,
Closer.
versus
Closer.
Freshler Otrera of PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, the pride of Gindulman, Bohol.
Hawak kayo nung sabi.
Alright.
I'd also like to request Attorney Floricel Ichamis Mono to please join us inside the platform. Once again, this is for the Games and Amusements Board Philippine Youth Minimum Wage Championship.
Dito hours pa kayo. Kasi 0.8. Kasi
This is a championship match, ladies and gentlemen, for the minimum or RP Youth Minimum Wage Championship. So Sherwin the Julio would have to shed those excess weight.
Mabalik kayo, ano nga, kung hindi sa ganda ito eh. Balik kayo ng ano. Okay pa ba? Pwede pa?
Alin pa yan? Hindi lang, wala pa yun. Hindi pa nakuha.
Hindi pa. Tapos pagka balik kayo ha.
Alright, Sherwin the Julio will be given 2 hours.
Pagka balik ka. Ang kanina tinong 0.8. Ganda yung mga oras pa. Ang pangindi na, bakit mo? Bakit mo? Mahigilo eh.
Okay, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we will now go to another championship bout. The co-main event of Bol-anon 23 for the IBF, for the vacant IBF Youth Flyweight Championship. First to tip the scale, this is Philippines versus Japan. First to tip the scale, from Higashi, Osaka, Japan. Let's give it up for Kyoto Narukami. Kyoto Narukami has got a record of 5 wins, only 1 defeat, 1 bout even, with 2 of his victories coming by way of knockout. We also have with us, ladies and gentlemen, our IBF officials in attendance. Our IBF supervisor for this IBF Youth Flyweight Championship, Mr. Rodil Manao.
111.4.
Official weight for Kyoto Narukami, 111.4 pounds. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. He is undefeated in 8 bouts, with 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, the pride of Claveria, Misamis Oriental, Leonardo, the Dreamer, Torres III. Taking the scale and his official weight.
111.1.
111.4 pounds. Exactly similar weight, ladies and gentlemen. We have ourselves a championship bout. Or 111.1 pounds for Leonard the Dreamer Torres III. Our boxers will now be facing off together with our IBF officials in attendance, led by our IBF supervisor, Mr. Rodil Manao.
All right, let's go. No fight.
We would also like to request Attorney Floricel Chavez-Cordon to please join our officials, our IBF officials, inside the platform.
IBF Youth Flyweight Championship.
Once again, this is 8 rounds of championship boxing. The co-main event of Bol-anon 23 for the vacant IBF Youth Flyweight Championship title. Kyoto Narukami of Osaka, Japan versus Leonardo the Dreamer Torres of PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, fighting out of Claveria, Misamis Oriental. The big question is, will that belt stay in the Philippines or will it fly to Osaka, Japan? We will find out together. Join us for Bol-anon 23.
Mamaya sa rules meeting, yung trainer ng dalawa, no? Trainer ni Kami sa Forest.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the main event of Bol-anon Bakeries? I can hear you guys. Are you ready for the official weigh-in of the main event of Bol-anon Bakeries?
Let's go!
Let's get it on. This is for the WBO Global Showdown. First to tip the scale. He's got a record of 22 wins, 6 defeats, 1 bout even, with 15 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBO Global Flyweight Champion, but that title is not on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Tanzania, East Africa, Yohana, the Computer Mchanja. Now tipping the scale is the WBO Global Flyweight Champion from Tanzania, East Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, Yohana, the Computer Mchanja.
Computer. Yohana Mchanja.
And his official weight,
109.3.
109.3 pounds for Yohana, the Computer Mchanja. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, he will be fighting out of the red corner tomorrow during Bol-anon main event. The pride of Tapalong, Bohol. He is the current WBO Global Junior Flyweight Champion, but that title is not on the line. He is the former world title challenger, world rated ranked number 11 in the IBF, number 9 in the WBC, and number 4 in the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from PMI Bohol Boxing Stable, Regie, the Filipino Suganob. And his official weight,
109.7.
109.7 pounds for Regie, the Filipino Suganob. This is for the WBO Global Showdown. Both fighters are champions. Both fighters are world rated. So it's going to be an exciting showdown. This is the main event of Bol-anon 23. Ladies and gentlemen, now our fighters will be having their face-off for the camera. Because we are being covered live worldwide through PMI Bohol Boxing Stable official Facebook page. We're also being covered live through Powcast Sports.
There you go. Let's go. Wait. Post, yeah. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is for the main event of Bol-anon 23. Going into this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, Yohana, the Computer Mchanja of Tanzania, East Africa, fired shots at Regie, the Filipino Suganob, saying he will be the toughest fighter he will ever meet inside the ring. So let's get it on for the main event of Bol-anon 23.
Okay. Tapos na itibangan guys.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after this, we're going to be having the rules meeting.
So guys, so tapos na yung timbangan. Pausalot pa ako sports. We're here in Bohol. It's our first time in a while. Tagal na rin, ano? Pero
We'll be having
guys, that's the main event. Hindi siya title fight, but both of them have real WBO global title. Junior flyweight si Regie Suganob. Ito, flyweight. So mas maliit yung kalaban pero mas mabigat yung nilalaban niya. And of course, IBF. Youth Flyweight Championship, Leonard Forrest
Alright, we
III,
will
and
start
Kyoto
since our
Narukami.
Cebu and
Yan ang
Bohol
ating
media are not
main event. And
yet
RP
here. We
Youth
will
Minimum
start with
Weight
the rules
Championship,
meeting.
Wrestler Ultera and Sherwin Taculio ang ating minimum weight title. Pero
So ladies and gentlemen, at this point,
si
we are
Sherwin,
now having
kailangan
the
niya pa
rules.
magbawas ng
We are
point.
going to
And I
start
think
the
he's gonna make
rules
it.
meeting for both
Anyway,
championship bout
kita tayo guys.
for the RP